Matt.
Right, thanks everybody for joining us again for another Zoom podcast here for WKS. This time I'm with Red and Liam from a band called the Rezner. How's everybody doing? You all right?
Not too bad at all. How are you doing?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good. So let's start off with Red first then. What first got you into music?
For me, I think I came from quite a music-rich background where my parents, my dad was like a old school punk and my mum's an old school goth, and they used to go out to gigs and they've just sort of loved the music since then. So I sort of got raised on it, but my uncle bought me a guitar when I was like 3 years old, and ever since then I sort of got into like the Raconteurs, White Stripes and Jack White sort of stuff, and my love for music just sort of came on from there really. It wasn't like a moment where it just all happened. It's just sort of gradual, sort of being brought up with it all and fell into place with it.
Brilliant. What about yourself, Liam?
Pretty much the same as Redley, really. I sort of like, I didn't really like grow up in a musical family. Like no one that I know of in my family plays instruments or anything. But I was always sort of around different sort of styles of music. Like all my parents, like one was like hip hop focus, one was classic rock, one was a boy band focus. So there was always stuff always playing. And then my friend started playing guitar when he was like 11 or something. And I was like, oh, go on, let's have a bash. And then it just sort of stuck, and we started like learning together. And then we go like a youth group and start a little band up and things. And that's when I started like the ball rolling. It wasn't until like like late in school really, where I kind of took it more seriously and like studied it more and stuff. So
okay, brilliant. So Red, how long have you been together then as the Rezner?
We've been together, I think it's coming up to 4 years now, isn't it, Liam? 4 years?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we got together in college, which was we sort of got together outside of college and brought it into college because we were just jamming on our breaks, and then made it into the Rezner eventually. But yeah, I think it started about 4 years ago in the second year of college. Okay. We're all getting on a bit now.
Brilliant. Liam, how would you describe your sort of genre of music then, Liam?
I want to say that we keep sort of, well, not changing all the time, but like it's more like evolving than it was when we first started off. It was like we were heavily focused on like that, like indie punk sort of style music, or like alternative indie sort of stuff. Not really like fast paced anything. It was more like just stuff we really enjoyed playing together. But then as we've like grown as a band, it has gone more to that like punk side. We're like fast paced. We like the energy, so we've always said indie, which is, I know, such a broad term nowadays, but alternative to punk. Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of
Superb. Red, who's the main sort of lyricist then in the band?
That would be Mr. Sam Stone, who unfortunately isn't with us today. He writes most of the lyrics. Like we'll come up with a bass idea, and then sometimes in the studio, if he needs help with it, he'll come and ask us for like one line where he can't rhyme something or something ridiculous like that. But yeah, no, because he's the main singer and writes all the lyrics to it. I think it'd be a bit unfair if we took over that department.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, Sam, the front man.
Okay, so basically he'll write the tune then, and then, or the lyrics, shall we say, and then he brings that to the table, and then what, you guys just play something around it, is it?
Yeah, in a way. We sort of come up with different ideas all around really. One day Liam could come up with something, one day I could come up with something. We'll send it over to Sam and he'll sort of turn it into a song. And then, well, not always, sometimes we do it all together in the rehearsal room, like last night we were doing it. But I mean, like, yeah, sometimes it really does vary with us, but Sam's sort of the main guy, and then we all have our little individual inputs.
Right. So what music have you got out there at the moment then, or now, that people can look for? Let's ask Liam.
Well, we've got 4 tunes. Yeah, we've got 4 tunes out at the moment. When was Mickey released? It was like 2019 or something. So it's been a couple of years.
2019, I believe.
yeah, and it was we can see you can see on Spotify, anything, any sort of major streaming platforms are on there. A few things on YouTube, including some music videos and things. There's always stuff being posted on social media like Instagram and Facebook as well.
Right.
Loads of different little snippets, but the whole tune wise, mainly your streaming services.
Yeah, superb. Red, how has the sort of lockdown? I mean, I know it's affected lots of bands in different ways, but how has it affected the Rezner then?
Well, the first one, we still managed to get quite a bit of stuff done. I mean, we couldn't obviously see each other, but I mean, as lockdowns progress, we sort of realised that we can see each other, as it's our work and it's as long as it's done in like a COVID safe manner. So with this lockdown hasn't affected us so much, but it's given us time to work on new stuff without having to practice the set all the time and concentrate on gigging and stuff, tours and stuff like that. So it's given us a new lease to work on our actual writing as opposed to live show, which is what we usually concentrate on the most. So in a way, it's been good for us, but obviously it's been terrible for us at the same time with us not being able to do any gigs, which is, we're a live band. That's what we do. It's what we love. And it's what we live for. But I mean, yeah, it has its advantages and disadvantages, I'd say, but it's certainly been tough for everyone in the industry. And like, we'd be lying if we say it wasn't, but we've got to try and use it to our advantage, really.
Yeah, fair play. So Liam, let's go with which musicians do you admire the most?
Oh wow. There's never really like a specific like musician, like in terms of anything. I've always been quite open with any sort of genre. I grew up with like I said before, like hip hop and stuff like that. I got really into like disco and old school like 70s stuff back when I was older. But like bands like, we always say Foo Fighters for me. I'm a massive Foo Fighters fan. Any sort of their new songwriting stuff just really like gels with me. I think collectively we all sort of, in terms of like new bands, we're all like big supporters like Sports Team at the moment. Any other bands you can
quite like getting Fontaines DC Idols, all the like ones you'd think we're like. But we also quite like some weirdy stuff like Radiohead and a lot of drum and bass. Weirdly, we all love our drum and bass.
Yeah,
love going to a rave.
Yeah,
like fair enough. So if you guys got a chance to open up for any band, who would you like to open up for? Let's start with Red.
Well, I reckon, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, in terms of crowds that would work for us, I would say someone like your Sports Team, or if it was going to be a dream, the Raconteurs or the White Stripes. But I mean, in terms of a British crowd that we'll gel with nicely and it would be a pretty good gig, it would be someone like Sports Team. But I mean, end goal, White Stripes, if they ever reform, wouldn't mind that.
Right.
But
fair play. Yeah. What about yourself, Liam?
We mentioned Idols a second ago as well. Like Idols would be, because they're like, so I mean, I know they're like hitting the mainstream now, but because they're still sort of up and coming, really, like those sets would still kind of feel intimate but big enough that it would be such a mental crowd. There's so much energy in their crowd. So
I've got a feeling that they may have played at a place down here where I am, in Penzance, a small little place called the Studio Bar.
Yeah, we've done a few gigs there.
You have? Oh, there you go then. Yeah. Okay, superb.
Yeah, no, it's a wicked little venue.
So where are you actually based then, guys? Where's your main base?
Oh, where did you go first?
I'm in Truro.
Right.
Liam's in St Austell. We say we're from Truro. Jose is originally from Portugal, but he moved to St Austell at the start of the band, really. And Sam's from all the way in Lou. So we sort of say we're a Truro-based band because that's where we formed at college, at Truro College. But I mean, we're from all over the shop, really. But Truro is our hub. That's where our main venue or bakery, and that's where we love playing. So Truro, I'd say.
Fair play. Yeah, fair play. So what's next then for the Rezner? Let's ask Liam.
What's next? Definitely right now, obviously we've had that sort of time through lockdown to sort of write new tunes, to come up with some new ideas for some sets and things. We are trying to get into to do some more recording when we can. But we have got one single in the bag, which we don't know much more when it can come out or anything, but there is one ready to go, near enough. And then it's mainly just the recording side now. Get some singles going for the year. Hopefully a tour if we can get in there at some point this year. I'm going to touch all bits of work around.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's superb, guys. So I'm going to go final question now, and I'll start with Red. So is there anybody you'd like to thank for you being here musically now?
I think I've got to thank our manager, Julian Abel, because I mean, I don't think he's had a penny out of us, and he's had about 3 years of hard work putting up with our rubbish, and us moaning at him when he's trying to say, no, that doesn't sound right, and then turns out when we do it his way, it does sound better. So there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think for a main guy for the Rezner, I think I've got to thank Jules and my parents for being so supportive, but Jules mainly because he does put up with us.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. What about you then, Liam? Anybody you'd like to thank?
I definitely thank mainly all of our lecturers back at college. Back when we were starting out, they were really helping us do some new tunes. They were helping us with recordings, helping us find some gigs. Specifically Toby Seth was a big, he helped us out so much in terms of that. And then when it came to the gig side of it, yeah, then like Brady said, it's then Julian. He's just pushing.
And
us.
the guys at SW1 who put us on at Boardmasters, like Liam Jolly, Katie Barnes, they're really good to us. They've given us a lot of opportunities, like the main stage at Boardmasters, and all the promoters out there like Jamie and Plymouth who use us regularly, and we wouldn't have shows without them basically. And it's what we need to survive on. Yeah, it's the essential fuel.
Brilliant, guys.
Yeah.
Look, thanks so much for the time and the interview, and good luck when we open up again, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I might see you down here at the studio bar again.
That would be a shout. It would be a nice little gig, that.
Yeah.
I'm keen to go back.
All right, guys, you take care of yourselves. See you later.
Thank you very much.
Bye.